Good morning, everybody. It is Tuesday, October 14th, 2025. My name is Don Swanker, and I'm going to call the Jackson County Board of Supervisors meeting to order. To my left, I have Mike Stein.
Good morning.
To my right, I have Nen Flegel, Bjorn from IT, Lisa from the Auditor's Office, Luann in the back, our Executive Assistant. And the first up on the agenda today is visitors and citizens. Is there anybody online or in the agenda? And how about we hold off on you and we let Mr. Engel go? Would you please come up, introduce yourself, and tell us why you're here?
I'm Neil Engel.
Have a seat.
Good morning.
Welcome.
Good morning. I'm here. I want to express concern about 13th Street, 251st Avenue, and now 211th Avenue. I contacted all three supervisors and also the sheriff's department, and everybody responded, and I really appreciate that. This has been going on for a long time. I expressed on October 5th, I was traveling past the 1370th with a grain drill and a tractor. Individual, what I call a dune buggy, came over the hill from the north directly at me. I pulled off, went up in the shoulder, so there wasn't impact. Then on October 8th, I was traveling on 13th Street with a 430 Case IH skid loader. Anyway, I went by 251st and there's a stop ahead sign on the right-hand side of the road. Individual driving a yellow semi tractor and trailer came off of the highway there, heading east, moving right along, head down, slouched down, right toward the skid loader. Feeling like a dead duck, I didn't know what to do. You can't move fast enough and think fast enough. And then I appreciate that Thursday, I'd reached out to all three of you in the sheriff's office. Nan and Mike I had talked to. Don I had talked to Friday, I believe.
Mhm.
I didn't realize I had more to come. I was driving on 13th Street. It was after 10 o'clock at night. With my F-250 2024 pickup approaching 211th Avenue on the west end. I was paying attention to the right, and then I was looking over the cornfield because you can see the highway, you know, what comes by the highway and it turns down to gravel.
Mhm.
I was quickly changed. I was hearing gravel hit the side of my pickup. This was after 10 o'clock at night. Gravel hitting the side of the 2024 pickup. It was dark. I couldn't see anybody, but you heard gravel. I wasn't going very fast. And like I said, a 2024 pickup pulling the Featherlight trailer. And then I heard the loud motor of a vehicle next to me. Appeared to me fishtailing next to me. Must have blown that 211th Avenue. And all I could see in my headlights, I had hit the brakes because I could hear the loud motor fishtailing in front of me. And in front of my headlights, I see coming in front of me a letter T, and then an E, and then an L, and then an O, and then an R, and a V, and an E, and an H, and you can barely see the C. He was pointed that way, south. Light blue Chevy, half-ton, full-size pickup. Quickly, high speed, got back in the right lane, sped by. We got a safety issue out there. That's 3 incidents in less than a week with just me. I'm in the wrong place at the wrong time. I'm really concerned somebody's going to get hurt or killed out there. I've reached out to the sheriff's department. This goes back to Russ Ketman to help out there. Something's got to change. Last night, I put in a call to an individual on 211th Avenue. He's going to be moving in that area. He's building a house and a house down that area. He said, I know exactly what you're talking about. They come through on 211. That's a shortcut.
That's a north-south road.
Yeah.
Coming from 136.
That's another shortcut to Walmart and Quick Start. And he says they're coming through there at high rate of speed. And he said verbal altercations with individuals to slow down. And they're blowing that stop sign. And he'll tell you, they go right off the end into Bill Brower's field there to the south. They went straight on. And I think there's been somebody get hurt there, or killed maybe in that area. Maybe two.
Well, it's good that you're bringing this up today because part of the ownership of that road sits right back there with the city. Because I
That's
think
why
you
I'm
guys
telling you.
own that road route until the almost the bridge or right there at that culvert or whatever. So maybe this is something we can tag team and kind of take a look at to see what we can do. Because again, I know there was thoughts, everybody wants us to pave it at some point, but I think that'll only make it worse and make them go faster. So,
It's a racetrack through there. Sunday, it was the same thing. Two vehicles came through there from the east. They get off from the highway and it's high speed. They accelerate at a high speed.
So I guess, do you think there is any type of solutions? I mean, anybody can put a sign up and reduce the speed, but that's gonna, enforcement has to be. Unless they patrol more, and I guess, I don't know what the answer you got from the sheriff, of course, but. Unless they patrol more, unless. I don't know, any kind of speed traps, but Jaden, anything we can do to try to slow them down or to? I mean, it ain't like we need to widen or anything, or it's,
I know before we reclaimed that road, it was awful wet at times and people had to slow down because it was really soft. And
They come through there with semis, and it's wet and the freezing and thawing and then, you
That
end
makes
up with
sense.
potholes.
there wouldn't be a weight restriction or anything,
well, we could put an embargo on it if we had to, right?
you gotta look at farmers because you might
I
be
was gonna
having.
say.
Well, I
That's
guess,
Calling
gonna,
that
that's
again.
gonna cause an issue there as far as, cause that's also a road that if you're going over to Bullock.
Yeah, the bullocks cut through there in different semis and I understand that.
It's
That's
just your regular,
Joe.
sure.
grain hauler and stuff like that. But yeah, for some reason, more recently, you see a lot more semi traffic on that road. For some reason, Google, I'm assuming if you put in like Quick Star or Walmart, it's cutting them across that road a lot more than what it ever used to.
But even coming off of 64 there to get on 13th Street, I have help me once in a while, and I make very clear to them, no left-hand turn coming off that highway. No left-hand turn. It's a double yellow. But no matter what, you can be looking in your mirror, looking back, and boom, they're right next to you. Left-hand turn. And I said that to my helper, a guy that was helping me, and he was thinking about making that turn. And we go up to 17th with that road to the end, and then we cut back across that short to line up with 251st. And he said to me, he says, I was thinking about, I didn't really think you were right, and I was gonna make that turn. And he says, it was right on my left-hand side. A vehicle went around. But what I'm saying is,
I mean,
when I
I really
heard-
don't want anything to happen either. I mean, for God's sakes, we wanna do what we can, but I don't know what the answer is, I guess.
Yeah, well, with the city, we can take a look at it and see what we can come up with. We'll have Jaden talk to Public Works.
but
And
I'm bringing it to your attention. Somebody's really gonna get hurt or killed. And it really looks, I've had 3 incidents in less than a week. That's why I'm here.
Yeah.
I do not want somebody getting hurt or fatality.
Okay.
Thank you. I appreciate everybody getting back to me
Yeah.
in that, and I appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks, Neil. All right, just to make sure anybody online want to bring up a topic quick? Hearing none, then we'll turn back to the steams from the city.
Real soon.
Good
Good morning.
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 I guess we have a simple objective here, is to get a work session together for the dispatching agreement. It appears to us that there's a lot of people talking, and just like our dispatcher meeting, so much of that was cleared up by putting minds in a room, having questions answered and forming a solution. I've asked for a work session now for what feels like a month, or for an agreement, a draft agreement to be passed from the county attorney's office to us. Neither have happened, and we're sitting here in budget season. Cities are asking me what's going on. I'm at a point where I feel like we've done an extraordinary amount of effort. Maybe that's been met with some version of, but we wanted some input. Well, I think it now is to have some time for some input. And so I'm conditioned at the city to form proposals for a council committee which is almost identical to what's occurred here, so that it can come to the boards or the other cities with some recommendation. And it feels like our requests for help or for collaboration aren't being met with much support at this point. And we're very gracious for your help for the CAT applications and everything you do for us, but I'm isolated to this issue. We continue to be at severe risk of being just told we can't afford it this year, so we're just not going to pay you, which snowballs into a number of other different issues. And, you know, if need be, you know, one of the things that's been communicated from our council committee is seek outside legislator help too. Like, don't let this just be a Jackson County and City of Macokota thing. That's a multi-year solution though, and we need to be finding things out now. And I'm personally a bit exhausted. I briefed the Finance and Personnel Committee a little bit of what's going on here, and they know kind of the legal risks that we're facing and some of the agreement risks that we have. I'm looking for your help at this point, and it feels like we're at a point where we just need to get in the room with the other city managers, the mayors, auditor, and make some decisions. And, you know, I had a lunch with Dubuque city manager a few weeks ago, and those are just two parties, Dubuque County and City of Dubuque, bigger numbers. It took them 7 years to come to an agreement on dispatching services. You know, we don't need to be doing this for 7 years, and I don't think that's a smart thing
Maybe
to
that
do.
keeps you here, so.
I totally agree with you, Josh, and I hear what you're saying, and I've read the proposal and my, you know, that we've talked briefly, you know, my whole take on it is we need to get the players together, and I'm good with that. If you can get all the city representatives that are a representative from each city here, which I think is huge. You know, the last I talked to, when I see the proposal, I was told, and this could be hearsay, that your council didn't even know about it till a month ago. You know, so what kind of decision have they made? Have they talked to the representatives from dispatch? Are they on board?
Dispatch wants to know what's going to happen.
Okay, well, I was under the assumption we either take it over for a countywide levy, and then they have to be employed by the county, which I was assuming they don't want to do that.
I don't think they care.
Okay.
See,
I mean, I-
that's a whole different story than what we've been
Yeah,
told
and
all
we need to
along.
get everybody
Is
together.
As long as they don't lose anything.
Right.
No.
We've been told that if they become county employees, they're all walking.
Did one of them tell you that?
Not one of them,
Okay.
but different
My
people we have met.
biggest concern is if the county takes over and we do a levy, the expense of logistically moving it over, connecting networks, transferring servers, buying new servers, anything. Talking to our IT person, it could be anywhere between 30,000 and several hundred thousand, depending on what equipment transfers and everything need to take place. That's an expense that I don't want to transfer to the citizens of Jackson County. We shouldn't, you know, because again, if we take this all over, we're in effect doing you guys a favor. We're alleviating a lot of the legal burden. If we go to the percentage wise, the problem we have, and this is something that it's going on right now, is if we do the percentage as we got it status quo, some of the smaller communities aren't being taxed for it. If we do general supplemental and that hits everybody in the county, that has to be, they have to be, according to the state of Iowa Attorney General's office and the auditor's office, they have to be employees of the county for us to use a general services supplemental levy. So that's that. If we do the rural supplemental like we have been, several of the small towns don't get taxed for it. And so that's a struggle we're having. Do you have a gap where some don't get taxed and the county pays? The rural people pay extra? Or do we take it over? That's the point we're struggling with.
And from my sorry, Josh,
No,
my understanding, we can't keep it as a rule if we're paying for these smaller cities. If that,
That's correct.
so.
I mean, is it as simple as having a 28E agreement with the cities? Is that everybody uses it? I don't care if your kid's in band or if you don't have any children, your grandparents or whoever, everybody uses dispatch if you're gonna have a controlled burn or whatever it might be. So my whole point from the beginning was everybody should be charged the same. So I understand that the counties can apply an emergency levy, is that correct? Some kind of emergency levy. Can the cities do that?
I don't know the answer to that question.
And that's, to me, that's fair to everybody. So it's as simple as taking the number, divided by the population and say, this is your population, this is what you owe us, period. If they can apply emergency levy just as well as I can. Or, in the scenario where, like, we're paying for the small cities, do some communities like Macocota to get charged twice, basically? Do they get taxed twice? Do they get
I mean,
levied twice?
this is where exactly where Dubuque County ended up. Is eventually they beat each other up for 7 years and
Yeah.
everyone decided they're county
Yeah.
residents anyway.
Yeah.
So you're making the same arguments that they
Yeah.
all did, but. And we
And I'm okay with
can look up the EMA question. That's a logical way. So, I don't know your finances. You don't know ours like maybe Don does, but everything we pay for.
What are you?
The 810, all these cities have that 810 limit. And we're well above our 810 limit in expenses, and that's part of the issue. So, if I'm going deeper into this problem, it's also measuring the fund health of Bellevue, the Preston. Andrew's up there saying, well, we can't afford it. So we guess, until you show us an agreement, we're gonna avoid this. And they're gonna keep falling off like that. So it's and again, we're going further than I ever anticipated this morning. I think that we just need to get in the room together, and I'll ask some of these questions to attorneys about city-driven EMA. But I think you'll walk into having some organizational development on the EMA side as a county if we're paying for it. And we went from, I don't know, close to 10 cents to 20 or 25 cents to support the EOC on our last tax levy. I'm sure that increases closer to $1 if we're talking about dispatch expenses.
I would totally agree with you. We need to get all the players in the room and the questions thrown out there and then answer them and
Right.
move forward. I mean, if it's as simple as one entity wasn't paying enough and another one was paying too much, fix it.
One complicating thing that I got an email on last week is from the EMA services, our association for Jackson County. They want to pursue an essential service tax.
Well, and I think that's gonna always be in legislation every year, to be honest. They're talking
You can
about-
vote, they want to proceed to have it voted on, so they want to come and do a presentation, which I don't know if that becomes the same thing. Or that's the same levy,
That's just emergency management.
so.
We're unique
What are
in
you
the fact that
proposing?
they're relying on a city service to run a county service.
And I agree that it was set up completely backwards 50 years ago or whatever, 30, 40 years ago. Why it was that way, it's irrelevant.
I think it's kind of grew with the times.
Well,
And
Well, but
It
again,
would have to be
everybody
done.
does that, whether you're in a city or whatever, in a municipality or the county, I mean, everybody's gonna do this.
Regarding dispatch employees, we just hired another. Brendan said to that person, there's a possibility there might be a county department employee sometime, and his response was, okay.
Yeah.
Well,
Obviously, we wanna be good neighbors.
Yeah. So we got in a room, we talked about it and let them know that this whole thing's been city driven. This isn't a county hostile takeover by any means, but here's the reasons why. And I think they appreciated that truth. But it's a meeting we needed to have, and you play the best hand, that you're dealt. And we realized that we don't want to make any irrational transaction decisions along the way because it's such an important call. We're carrying the employer's risk of them screwing up their job, just like any of your sheriff's deputies. It's a highly critical service, and we're sitting here floating off in space without an agreement, and it needs to stop.
So, do you think you get all city representatives together?
Absolutely.
Okay, yeah, let's do it. I'm all for it.
2 weeks from now, roughly, is there any
Yeah.
general?
I would say in an evening might be better to get for attendance wise to get people there, but
People.
yeah, it sounds good.
Good. I'll ask the EMA question on the city's behalf too.
You're gonna put something like a doodle poll out or something to see?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. People got stuff already they're committed to, of course, but yeah, whenever we get the most representatives there and dispatch and whoever, yeah.
Yeah, cause it's gonna do no good to have 5 people sit in the room.
Yeah.
I mean, I know a lot of times you don't get a lot done when you got a mass group, but when it's involving a mass group, you need
That's
to
what it
have
takes, so-
everybody's input to make it.
It's gotta go somewhere.
Justified, right?
And if everybody, and I can hear everybody going, at least the city representatives, if the county takes it over, that frees up a huge chunk in five cities' budgets. And I appreciate that. I know everybody's be screaming for it, but the county doesn't want to eat a six-digit setup cost
Right.
to free up money in everybody's budget. I mean, we don't have that kind of.
We can't
laying
afford to
around.
eat a 6
So that's where, that's the big hesitation for me is the funding thing. If we had to pass a levy, whatever, how do you transfer it over, all that kind of stuff. The expense thereof is yet to be completely known. And what transfers, what doesn't. I know most of the equipment was bought with the 911 board, so that should be transferable, but again, plugging all the dots and things like that. I don't know.
I think you have our assurance that we'll fight for an agreement.
Yeah.
As a base one priority, and what's in front of you in draft form looks at actual numbers from the previous fiscal year.
Yeah.
It's no longer a budget forward guess.
Right.
If I'm sitting in these shoes, I know it's a slight increase and we'll toggle some of those percentages in the other towns, but we'll be there at least for now. And what we've told dispatch and communicated to our end is that we don't think that this is over. This could be simply solved too with the state legislature doing some version of a cell phone fee or landline fee to increase it and give us some code language flexibility.
That would
They're
be,
going to start facing some of these issues from cities, but we need to get something that gives us a bit more runway.
Yeah, they would pass that simple, we all paid the 911 landline fee. Most people have gone away. There's still a handful, but most people have gone away from that, so they're not getting the money there, But if we could, like we said, in one of our meetings, a measly 20-30 cents would raise a lot of money for every cell phone that's out there.
Yeah.
Yes, we would.
put it together, we'll be there.
Okay.
All right.
Sounds good. Thank you for your time.
Hey, guys, anybody else? Yep. Nice.
I see Melissa up there. I see Jay Davison,
Julie.
Julie Davison.
She's-
Okay. So,
Anybody else from the public?
no,
Okay.
it's gonna be a while. So, okay. All right, then we'll turn over to Lene.
Good morning.
How are we doing?
Good. We've got Julie Davison is on line there, so hopefully she can pop in, I think. So she was gonna talk about the 28E for the DAP. And kind of give you guys a presentation. So we'll just give her a second to pop on here. And I think she's got just some information to give you. We've got the 28E. I've got 2 copies here for you guys. You got them as well?
Yep.
Okay. And yeah, so we'll let her get started and then we can talk about it.
All right, Julie.
Hi, good morning. I'm having trouble starting my video. I click on it and it does nothing. Are you able to hear me?
Yep.
Okay, I guess we'll do it without video today. So I believe you have the PowerPoint in front of you. Is that?
Yes.
Yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
All right, so I am Julie Davison, the interim CEO for the Disability Access Point for District 7. Right now, we are officially still called Mental Health and Disability Services of the East Central Region. With our revised 20E, we're changing our name to Eastern Iowa Disability Alliance to move away from that regional name. So I just wanted to give you a brief presentation on what the DAP's role is, and then invite you to be a member of the 28E if that is something you are interested in. The East Central Region Governing Board wanted us to offer the 28E to all counties in our district. So on the second page, there is a map of Iowa that shows the districts. As you can see, there are little red boxes. Those are what we call our hubs. We do not have an office in every county. With the behavioral health reorganization, it went away from a county system to a more of a district system where we do not have the staff or the funds to have an individual in every county. So we have 2 individuals out of the Dubuque County office who will serve Dubuque, Jones, and Jackson. We've had a little delay in getting those staff hired. We had one hired who then we had a retirement somewhere else, and it made more sense for that person to go there. So we do have both of the Dubuque County staff starting now, and we have provided coverage from the other hubs in the meantime. So there will be a presence in Jackson County. I know our program managers are working on locations to ensure that we have some place in every county that we are landing at least a few times a month. And then the majority of what we do is in the community, not sitting in an office. And so our staff go out and meet with individuals in their homes, at places in the community, anywhere that they would like to meet. So just because we aren't there every day doesn't mean we aren't available to take those phone calls and go out and see people. So next page, you can see the staff that we have. We, our CEO, May Hinchin, left in June, and so I have been acting as interim CEO. We will be looking at a permanent CEO in the very near future. It's been a lot trying to get things going, but we felt we needed to get established to know what we really needed once we were in the weeds with what we are doing and learned more about the expectations. So Jody Bridgewater is the program manager, and she oversees our service navigators in the northern counties, which would include Jackson. The disability access point is we are a contracted agency with HHS. So we are similar to other providers. HHS sees us as a provider of a specific service, much different than what the regions were. We're similar to some of the other providers. Imagine the possibility, I believe, that maybe in your area, similar to a Goodwill. But instead of the services they provide, we provide service navigation for individuals with a disability. So we're part of the ADRC network, which also includes Area Agency on Aging. So we're seen as a similar concept as Area Agency on Aging, but providing services for individuals with disabilities instead of the aging population. So I think a lot of people felt like the reorganization was just region number 2, kind of a regional system continuing, and it is not. The duties that the region had, the way I look at it, is they were kind of split several different ways. HHS took over management of the system. So they are writing all of the rules. They are establishing guidelines. We operate out of their operational guidance. So they tell us how we are to perform the service. They give us a list of the services we can provide. There's not that flexibility anymore to fund what the region, or I think you guys acted more county, the choices at the local level is established by HHS. And then the ASO, the Administrative Service Organization, which is Iowa Primary Care Associates, they oversee the services and provide navigation and linkages for individuals with mental health needs or substance use and other addictive disorders. So they are primarily responsible for that, which includes working with individuals in jails, paying sheriff transports, meds in the jail. Some of the things that used to be billed to the region now is billed to the ASO. And then finally, the disability access point, which is what we are. We provide navigation services to individuals with a disability. So we will link individuals with Medicaid, help them apply for waivers, refer them to MCOs for case management, assist with people who are maybe in a residential care facility who are getting services in their home. So our job is to link them. And then in certain circumstances, we can request funding from HHS. We do a lot of options counseling with individuals. So it's more sitting down and saying, what are your needs? What are your strengths? How can we help you meet your needs? Did you have a question for me?
Any questions for Julie?
Oh, sorry, I thought somebody talked. I just have a couple more things to go over. So the 3 things that I talked about, we do information and assistance, options counseling, and then service coordination. And then the final page is the 2080 discussion. So with the legislation, the new legislation, there is not the requirement for a governing board because we are seen as a provider agency and anybody, even a nonprofit, a non-governmental entity could have bid on this. So the 28E that we have is to maintain our entity, to maintain the Eastern Iowa Disability Alliance. So HHS does not. Previously, they had criteria for who could serve on the governing board. No, that is no longer. We are required to have an advisory council, and we are having a governing board because we are a 28E governmental entity, and the governing board is required for us to maintain that entity. So the governing board would oversee the entity itself, the staff, but the service provision is more overseen by HHS. They have very specific guidelines we have to meet, reports that are getting done. And actually, we meet with them once or twice every week, sometimes more, because they are very much overseeing what we do. So the current ECR governing board wanted to invite all counties to participate if they chose, and the governing board would be a member of the board of supervisor from every member county. So we don't have to have some of the other sheriff's department, school, any of those others on there. There's no language for that. And then it would also be one or two individuals from the advisory board to provide information. And so if Jackson County is interested in becoming a member, we would certainly welcome that. Unlike the region, a county does not need to be a member of the 28E for your citizens to receive the service. We are required to provide the same level of service to all individuals in all of the counties. And so it's a little bit different than the 28E where counties came together to form a region. I'm sorry. So now, do you have any questions for me?
Any questions? for
I
me?
do.
Yeah.
Julie, this is Mike, and
Hi.
so I assume you have or going to present to all other counties also?
Correct.
And what kind of participation agreements do you have? I mean, I don't wanna be first, I don't wanna be last, but.
So,
Or is that, again, is there a financial responsibility along with this agreement?
thank you for asking that. There is no financial responsibility. We are fully funded through HHS. The funding that we have is primarily for staff. We do have some funding that is for some continuity of care services that were in place with the regions and they didn't want to cut off. So those are more of a short-term funding that we have, and that's specific to a provider for a service, and the money runs through us. And then we have a little bit of funding for short-term services and supports. But primarily the funds are for staff, and there is no responsibility on the county side for any of the funding. It is established by HHS and provided to we have to meet certain criteria, and they call them performance measures. When we meet a performance measure, they send us money. And so there's no financial component for counties. And as far as other counties, I haven't met with all. I have met with probably 3/4 by now. I have to go back and meet with Buchanan and meet with Delaware. Scott County is still in their decision-making process. They changed the meeting time, but then they had talked about it. So I think I'm meeting with them next week. And I'm sorry, I couldn't make their meeting. And then I thought they were changing it, but they went ahead and discussed it. So I'm still waiting to find out from them. I'm waiting to hear back from Clinton County. Johnson and Lynn have chosen not to participate. Their reasoning is they feel like they don't have the decision-making capacity that they did before. And so they have chosen not to participate. Cedar and Louisa counties have agreed to participate and have signed, and I'm still waiting to hear on some of the others. I meet with Buchanan. I think Buchanan will sign, and I believe Delaware for sure will sign, is what I'm getting from the boards. So a little bit of both. We anticipate, sometimes I don't look at my notes, but our board anticipates probably quarterly meetings because there's not, it's more approving claims that have been paid, looking at bringing forth any information from your county that you're seeing, any needs you're seeing, just ensuring that things are running smoothly with the disability access point, but more of a quarterly meeting versus the monthly is what our board was thinking. And whether we do it, where we have the meeting will depend upon which counties participate and whether they would prefer to do virtual or find a central location that works for everybody.
I think as being an outlying county, if it makes sense that we participate, so we have more of a voice, or at least have more of a know what's going
Well,
on,
at least let them, give them a good,
taste of what we're experiencing.
right,
I guess my initial thought was, yes, we need to be good neighbors and participate, and do our part, if you will.
I mean, I guess I just don't wanna see this, with like Seventh Judicial, when they took over. It's more, we do a quarterly meeting, but it's more, they're just. This is what's gone on, and obviously you no longer have a real say in
Right.
anything, so.
But and that is true. And that's why some of the counties were like, well, tell me why I went to participate. And I said, because we want to hear from you, and not that we won't hear from you otherwise. I mean, we certainly, the first 3 months, I have to tell you, have been um, overwhelming, and we have not gotten out like we wanted to. So East Central Region, we kept our staff hired in the counties. We had 2 counties who in June decided not to maintain the staff. So we had to find somebody to hire the staff that were part of that. And then we hired an additional 7 staff, I think. And the requirements that HHS has had on us have been a lot. So we have been scrambling to get staff in place, and now things will slow down. We will be getting out. I know our program manager has been out and talking with some providers, but we will certainly have a much bigger presence starting now that we have staff in place and we've gotten through. We're not completely through all of the initial things, but I think we had 135 items in our transition plan that needed to be performed, and we're over halfway there now. So it's a matter of getting things moving, and we will definitely get out there and want to hear from you if you're having some problems. What we've really been working toward is connecting the ASO with counties, because the ASO has the responsibility for what a lot of counties see, which is the individuals in the jail and the ones on commitments and those with the serious mental illness. And so we've been doing some collaborative meetings with the ASOs and with other counties, especially Sheriff's Department and jails, trying to work toward that. So.
Oh,
Lene, input?
So I think, especially as we're getting started and everything, I do think it'd be a good idea to be a part of it. Just so that you can have a feel for at least what direction things are going and what's going to be available out there. So I do think that it would be beneficial to initially at least get in there and kind of have a feel for it, and then kind of evaluate from there.
And there is an opportunity every year to join or withdraw. It's not like we suck you in and you can never have a chance to choose to.
So I look on the agenda and it says, action on the ECR Disability Access Point 28E agreement. Then it also says role of a disability access point. So what exactly are you asking? If we decided to participate, what do we need to specify as a role that we want to participate in the governing board, or?
I'm not sure what that role means. It might have been just me telling you the role, I think is what I'd asked probably, is that we would just inform you what the role of our disability access point is. And then if you were willing to participate, it would just be you agreeing that you
Be part
will
of the,
sign on, and then making a motion to join the 2080. We have one thing, I'm waiting on our attorney to hear back yet. Louisa County had asked if we could make one small change. So I've asked the attorney how to handle that if we've already had counties sign, and he has not replied to me yet. I am meeting with him tomorrow. So I don't think it will be a big deal if you make the motion today. The change was very minor it was a spelling error and one other little thing.
Okay,
So
So do we have a resolution or what we need to proceed?
we have the 2080 agreement.
mhm.
It would just be a motion to approve and sign the 2080 agreement to be a participant.
Okay, I thought it said on the last page that
You could either do a resolution or we just need minutes showing that you voted to participate, either one, whichever your county prefers.
you okay with motion?
Yeah, no, motion is fine. Some counties do about everything by resolution. Jackson County is not one of them. So just a motion.
I would make a motion to go ahead and proceed with the 2080 agreement.
So you're authorizing the chair signature on the amended 2080 agreement.
Yes.
I would second.
Got a motion by Nan, second by Mike to approve the 2080 agreement with the ECR Disability Access Point and authorized chair signature to participate in the 2080. Any other discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Motion carries.
Thank you very much. It was nice to meet you, and we will be getting out there shortly.
All right, thank
Okay,
you very
thank
much. Look forward to it.
All right, thank you. Bye.
You bet. Have a good day.
Thanks, you too.
All right. Anything else, Lydia?
That's all I came for today.
Awesome. Have a great day.
All right, you too.
Thanks, man.
Thank you.
All right, next up, we have Becky Chapin from Human Resources. Welcome.
Good morning.
Did you have an agenda or just what you emailed out?
Just the agenda, I do have a copy if you want to send some ideas. Feel like it's been a long time.
Where you been?
Sometimes that's a good thing, right?
Okay, just a couple things for you today. So Brian Donnelly with the county attorney's office has been here 6 months. He was hired under a 6-month probationary certificate, which expires today. So I would ask for a motion to approve and authorize the chair to sign a certificate of appointment for Brian Donnelly as assistant county attorney for the period of October 14th, 2025 through January 1st of 2027, which is the remainder of the county attorney's term.
So there's no adjustment in pay scale or anything like that?
There wasn't John adjustment July 1st when he had, so he's been.
So moved.
I'll second that.
Got a motion by Mike, second by Nin to approve and authorize chairs to sign the certificate of appointment of Brian Donnelly as assistant county attorney for a period of October 14, 2025 through January 1st, 2027. Any other discussion?
Yeah, I would just like to thank him and appreciate the work that he's doing.
He's done fantastic job. Everybody's positive feedback so far.
Yeah.
Any other discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
And then next, Sheriff Kilberg has hired a new part-time deputy, which will fill the final of his three part-time deputy vacancies. So I would ask for a motion to approve and authorize the chair to sign a 9-month probationary certificate of appointment for Richard Ewald as a part-time deputy sheriff effective October 7th, 2025 through July 7th of 2026, including authorizing the county auditor to implement for payroll purposes.
Make that motion.
I would second.
Got a motion by Min, second by Mike to approve and authorize chair to sign a 9-month probationary certificate of appointment for Richard Ewald as a part-time deputy sheriff effective October 7th, 2025 through July 7th, 2026, including authorizing the auditor to implement payroll purposes. Any other discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
And then we recently had 3 of our PRN correction officers resign. I would ask for a motion to accept the resignation from correction officers Caitlin Kuhl, effective October 1st, 2025, Michael Reed, effective August 18th, 2025, and Hunter Pirtle, effective August 5th, 2025.
So moved.
I'd second that.
Got a motion by Mike, second by Nin to accept the resignation of corrections officers Caitlin Kuhl, effective October 1st, 2025, Michael Reed, effective August 18th, 2025, and Hunter Pirtle, effective August 5th, 2025. Any other discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
And then lastly, through the restructuring of our county mental health regions, we knew the time allocation and responsibility of our mental health coordinator would change. During that transition, we discussed the potential of transitioning general assistance from out from under the human resource department to the mental health department. Currently in her dual role with Clinton County, she is facilitating that same function because they're a community service agency there. It is within the same department there. We felt it was a good transition to move it to under Lenee's direction. So the county board appoints the general assistance director. So I would ask for a motion to appoint Lenee Birkin as the general assistance director effective October 14th, 2025.
So moved.
Second.
Got a motion by Nan, second by Mike to appoint Lenee Birkin as the General Assistance Director effective October 14th, 2025. Any other discussion?
Yeah, I have a question.
Yeah.
So I know that you stated that this was all good and well. I guess I did not hear that from her, so.
I should have added to that. She and I had met, and she is actually the one that has reached out to me.
And she just left
Saying,
here,
are you
right?
ready? Yeah, she was ready. She reached out to me 2 weeks ago and I said, I was just trying to clean up stuff. So we did end up meeting her and Trisha. I think it'll be a really good makeup with the Veterans Office because they provide the same service. And with Trisha being like a main point of access there, if it's a veteran, it goes to the side of the room. If it's a non-veteran, it goes to the side of the room. We felt like I met with Ruth too previously and everybody thought it would be a really good fit for that department. So
Any other discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Motion carries.
that's all I had.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Here you go. You want these?
Becky?
Becky?
Oh, yes, please.
What is blank?
Yeah, he's off.
Oh. All right. Lisa, you have the floor.
Need a motion to approve the minutes of the October 7th, 2025 Board of Meetings as written by Auditor Smith and authorized publication in the official newspapers.
So moved.
I'll second that.
Got a motion by Mike, second by Nan to approve the minutes of the October 7th, 2025 board proceedings as written by Auditor Smith and authorized publication in the official newspapers. Any other discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Need a motion to approve resolution number 1147-10-14-2025. Transferring $5,000 in appropriations from the juvenile probation department to the court cost ad litem attorney fees department.
I'll make that motion.
I would second.
Got a motion by Nan, second by Mike to approve resolution 1147-10-14-2025. Transferring $5,000 in appropriations from the juvenile probation department to the court cost ad item attorney fees department. Any other discussion?
Brief explanation? Normal transfer to the.
You know what? This is one of those things that I wish that the state legislature would fix. This is something that we have to pay for attorney fees, and we have no, the county has nothing to do with this at all. All we do is we pay the bill. We can't say how much we're gonna pay. We can't say who to hire. So this is one of those things that all we do is we pay the bill. I wish that the state legislature would change this.
Unfunded mandate.
It is an unfunded mandate. And
So
we
they
did
don't
have some.
reimburse or anything, they just,
Nope, it's all on Jackson County and we had no say so. So this is just one of those things that I would like to see changed in the state legislature. But we did have a case that was very expensive and we need to amend the budget.
any other discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
We locked it one.
Nothing we can do about it. I need a motion to approve resolution number 1148-10-14-2025 for the annual interfund operating transfer for fiscal year 25-26 in the sum of $25,000 from the general fund 1,000 to the local public health nurses fund 24,000 effective October 14th, 2025. And this is just as stated, it is an annual thing.
I would move to approve.
I'd second that.
Motion by Mike, second by Nan to approve resolution 1148-10-14-2025 for the annual interfund operating transfer for fiscal year 25-26 in the sum of $25,000 from the general fund 1,000 to the local public nurses fund 24,000 effective October 14, 2025. Any other discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
I need a motion to approve resolution number 1149-10-14-2025 for the annual interfund operating transfer for fiscal year 25-26 in the sum of $74,269 from the general basic 1,000 fund to the local health sanitation fund 24,000 effective October 14th, 2025.
I'll make that motion.
I would second.
Got a motion by Nan, second by Mike to approve resolution 1149-10-14-2025 for the annual interfund operating transfer for fiscal year 25-26 in the sum of $74,269 from the general basic fund 1,000 to the local health sanitation fund 24,000 effective October 14, 2025. Any other discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Motion carries.
Need a motion to approve resolution number 1150-10-14-2025 for the annual interfund operating transfer for fiscal year 25-26 and the sum of $4,000 from the general basic 1,000 fund to the historic preservation fund number 29,000 effective October 14th, 2025.
So moved.
I'll second that.
Got a motion by Mike, second by Nin to approve resolution 1150-10-14-2025 for the annual interfund operating transfer of fiscal year 25-26 in the sum of $4,000 from general basic 1,000 to historic preservation fund 29,000 effective October 14, 2025. Any other discussion?
So I just want to reiterate that this is a quarterly like transfer or is
It's
this
the annual.
annual? So this is a normal operating transfer at a certain time of
We
year
budgeted
that it's
money.
done.
Yes, that's right.
Yep.
We budgeted money and
Okay.
yes.
Is that all you have?
That's all that I have for the board today. Did you vote?
We didn't.
We didn't vote.
Oh, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carried. All right,
Now, that's all that I have for the board today.
all right.
Thank you.
Luann, you want to step up? You got the floor.
Good morning.
Good morning.
All I have for right now is the calendar. At 10 o'clock, we have scheduled a work session on the Drug-Free Communities Grant Coordinator contract. And we also have a work session scheduled at 10:30 to discuss the investigator position. At 3:30. Sorry. At 3:30 this afternoon is a Macocata River Watershed Management Authority Executive Committee meeting by Zoom for Don. On Thursday, the 16th at 1 o'clock is a Grantwood Scenic Byway meeting by Zoom for Nin. Also at 1 o'clock that day, there's tentatively a REAP assembly meeting, which would be the board chair, but I have had no confirmation of that. And I know they said that the funding sunsets next year, so whether they'll have a REAP assembly this fall or not, I don't know.
Okay.
At 6 o'clock is a Limestone Bluffs RC&D meeting by Zoom for Don. On Sunday, October 19th at 5:30 p.m. is a human trafficking in Iowa movie at the Macocata High School for any of you that want to attend that. Monday, October 20th at noon is a DCAT meeting in DeWitter by Zoom for Mike. At 1:30 is a Waste Authority meeting at the transfer station, also for Mike. At 3 o'clock that afternoon is a Mental Health and Disability Services Governing Board meeting in Davenport or by Zoom for Nin. And at 6 p.m. that night is a Together We Build Board and Steering Committee meeting at Together We Build for Nin and Don. At 7 o'clock that night is a Zoning Commission meeting in the community room or by Zoom for any of you. Our next regular meeting will be Tuesday, October 21st. That will be an early start meeting at 8 o'clock. And that's to get you out of here so that at 10 o'clock, Don and Nin can get to the RPA meeting. It's either in Dubuque or by Zoom. At 4 o'clock that afternoon is a virtual aging and disability town hall meeting by Zoom for any of you. And at 5 o'clock that night is a conservation board meeting at Hurstville for any of you that want to attend that.
Okay. That's all you have today?
Yep.
Well, thank you very much. We appreciate it.
And just so I clarify, next Tuesday, we start at 8 o'clock.
8 o'clock.
8
Okay,
a.m.
yep, I
Correct.
just want to make sure that I have it right. Yep.
Okay, we need to be done very quickly, but if you could.
Yep, no, I just want to
Humanly
make
possible.
sure that I have my, yep, thank you.
Good morning, sir. How can we help you?
I was wondering about that flood.
Please stand up and announce who you are. We're still in a meeting.
Okay, I'm Dale Hograver.
Yep.
I'm representing Gyra, my person in charge of money or whatever. And anyhow, I was wondering about if you guys do on that farm, that 3-year contract or whatever. He was wondering about if he could pay all 3 years worth of rent right away that day, cash. Greenbacks.
I would guess that, that's certainly a possibility. We'd have to run it past our county attorney to make sure that we're legal to do that.
Cause he don't wanna give all these financial statements on what he all owns or whatever, so.
Yeah. Cash should be good as long as they're,
I guess again, I would say that sounds good.
yeah.
I just
I
want to
was
make sure
just,
that
you
the
know, I just
county
wanna-
attorney's
Cause
okay.
you collect a lot of interest off that and you make millions of dollars off all that money, whatever coming in right that day, so.
I don't know about millions, but we've
You-
been definitely interest and stuff. So if you were to pay 3 years in advance cash, that would be a definite, that would be just
Okay.
as good for me, I think.
Okay, so you run across the county attorney once and,
We'll
Yeah,
do that.
but I don't have an attorney because I trust you or whatever, so.
Okay.
So, tell me this deal. So this gentleman or this entity that you're talking about that oversees your finances, are they willing to sign that paper that says that you're good, they're good for that, or they're covered?
I'll have the cash with me that day or whatever. so.
Yeah.
So.
We'll make sure we have security here now that you're announcing.
You don't worry about that there, so you'll see the cash.
Okay,
You'll see the briefcase,
all
so.
right. Well, that's what I'm saying. This is recorded, so.
Yeah, it's fine with me how everybody sees it, so.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you very much. We appreciate it.
We'll see you this
Entity that you said,
Gyra.
Gyra, okay.
Yep.
Can you spell that for me?
JIARA.
Okay.
And
Okay.
they're just your financial backer, or?
Yeah, so. Because I don't think you're not gonna get any bank to back the farmers this year because it's too unpredictable this time of year what they got, they're actually gonna make.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Sure.
so.
Yeah.
But he's willing to do that, so.
All right.
So, I mean, you understand the contract, you've seen the contract as far as what?
Yeah, no chisel plowing, no mower plowing.
No,
'Cause I'm all-
well, I make sure the whole contract, I mean, as far as liability for spraying thistles and whatnot on the pasture ground.
My dad does all that stuff. or whatever,
Fixing
so.
fences and whatnot, yeah, so just.
We got cattle and stuff too also.
Yeah.
so.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
Just
Yeah.
make
If you
sure
own the cattle on 1,000 Hills, put the gold in the hill, so.
yeah,
So he's got money.
you
so.
read through the contract, Dale.
I'll come up and grab him and show him, we'll talk it over then, so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds
See you later.
good.
Thanks.
All right, boards and commissions. WMA meets this afternoon, so. We got nothing yet. Mental health, I think we just had a kind of a briefing on what's in any, have you had any meetings or,
No,
all right, workforce? We haven't really met, so. You have anything, Mike, or?
I'm good.
I do not.
All right, hearing nothing left.
No, further business, I would make a motion, we adjourn.
I'd second that.
Got a motion by Mike, second by Nin to adjourn. Any other discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Y'all have a great day.